I want to take back that word tolerant, because the world has taken it and they told us we need to be tolerant, which means we need to just give in with everybody, go with the flow. What's the other one they use where you got all the little signs around it? Not tolerant, but coexist. Oh, that one just makes me want to manifest. Coexist and tolerate. They want us to all get along and everybody know about. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes into the Father but by him. That's it. That's it. There's no other way. We're not coexisting. We're not tolerant. We're not going to give in so somebody else feels a certain way. It doesn't mean we don't love people. Don't mean we don't show them love and truth. But it doesn't mean we tolerate evil. And it doesn't mean we definitely coexist with it. There has to be a separation. And Josiah said, I'm not just cutting down the metal and the wood and the things that you've established, these trees. I'm coming for the principality behind it. I'm going to tear it down. And the Spirit of God was with him. And revival broke out. And people were tearing them down. It was a massive movement. And the process of this, he comes upon this one gravesite. And he sees this ossuary there. And he's getting ready. He says, take it out and destroy it. And the guy says, hold on a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why not? Well, this little box is a packaged prophecy of what you're doing right now. Because back in 1 Kings chapter 13, we got a cute little story I love. I'm going to preach on it one day. I'm going to touch on it now, but I really want to get into it one day. Right after the kingdom was split between Rehoboam and Jeroboam, Solomon was king. Jeroboam took the top 10 tribes, and Rehoboam took the 2 bottom tribes. Jeroboam was out there worshiping at Bethel. He'd created golden calves, and he's playing high priest himself. He's just throwing stuff on the fire. And the Bible says this man of God came up. And Jessica, he looks at it, and he sees that altar. You know what he does? He starts talking to the altar. He says, oh altar, hear ye the word of the Lord. And he starts prophesying with such authority. He said, when I'm done prophesying, this altar's going to split in two. The ashes are going to fall to the ground, and God's going to raise up a man named Josiah. 300 years before it happened, called him by name. God's going to raise up a man named Josiah who's going to tear this place to pieces. And the king stretched out his hand to get him, and as soon as he did, his hand withered up, and he couldn't pull it in. See, the enemy's had authority, but God's fixing to take it back. Do you hear me? God's fixing to take it back. Because what does that represent? Authority. Get him, get him, get him. You poke your hand at somebody, it's telling people, I'm in charge, get that person. So immediately, that accusation spirit of the prophetic one to rise up and say, get him. That's not true. But he couldn't pull his hand back. But I love again the heart of God. He said, would you please pray for my hand, Jessica? So it'll extend again. And the man of God didn't say, you know what, you deserve that. Go to hell. He said, God, please, and I entreat you, Lord, to extend his hand. And his hand was made whole. You see, and you see the love of God? But then I love the man of God's heart. He says, oh, Jeroboam said, listen, come back to my house with me. I'll give you up to half I own. Come back with me. And the man of God said, you know what? I can't be bought. I'm already owned by somebody. I'm a bond slave. You see this thing in my ear? I'm a bond slave of God. I don't have rights. I laid them down a long time ago. I can't go back with you. I can't even go back the way I came, and I can't even eat, drink water here. I can't even nourish myself here. I'm going to do exactly what God called me to do. And he leaves. I mean, it looks like something that should be on a movie if you read 1 Kings 13 when you get a chance. Now, that second